Hello guys, welcome back to episode 6 of Rebuilding the Bridge. I'm Jake, this is my Football Manager Chelsea save, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, something I haven't done before. Instead of playing any matches, we're going to be looking at the transfer business we did over the January transfer window. After having a transfer ban in the summer, we were finally allowed to buy players, and we spent big. We doubled the spending of anybody else, even like your PSGs and your Real Madrids, double what they spent, and it didn't even match us. We used, you can see here we have a £15 million transfer budget left. Our original budget was £154 million, and we sold players too. So it was a very big window. In the next video, I'll be showing you the game that you can see here against Juventus. I'll be showing you the first round and the second round. And to keep that video a bit shorter, I'm just going to show you the form from before that match, so when the time comes of recording that video, the video can be shorter because I won't have to go through all this. But we last left you at the 4-0 win against Manchester United, a brilliant win, set us up very nicely for the second half of the season. We drew to Southampton in the FA Cup third round in the first game because we had to replay it because Jorginho got sent off, as you can see. Two-footed tackle, he got banned for like 3 games. Then in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, we beat Man U 2-1 and then 1-1 in the home leg, meaning we went through and we now have a final set up against Liverpool coming up. We also beat Brighton 2-0, Southampton 3-0, drew 2-2 with Liverpool after again being 2-0 up. We just cannot seem to win against Liverpool. Beat Arsenal 1-0, Millwall 3-1 and beat Newcastle 4-3, which was a much harder game than it should have been. Newcastle had a new manager, they're bottom of the league, and this was his first game and they somehow decided to fight back. We drew 1-1 to Leicester. It wasn't the best performance, not gonna lie, and then for some reason our assistant manager arranged a friendly against Zenit, so we won that 3-0. I used the rotation squad for that. And now we have a Juventus game, but you might have saw if you were looking at some of the goal scorers on the right hand side here that it might have spoiled some of the signings. We'll get to it in a second. A bit of team news though. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is finally done with his injury, so he's just in his rehab phase now. He's going to be playing some games for the under-23s to try and get back to match fitness. And then hopefully he'll be able to play for us soon. And we're going to need him because I'll show you, well, when you find out the transfer business, you're going to see why. So, without further ado, let's show you what happened with the money. So, here is a player who's not going to be shown in our transfer history because he's joining next season. He was the last signing that we made, and it was after the window. He was for £13.75 million, which was his release clause from St. Gallen in Switzerland. Now, seems like a lot of money for a 17-year-old from a random club, but they weren't going to let him go for anything other than his release clause. And one of my club visions is to sign players to sell for a profit and sign players under the age of 22 for the future, should I say. And this guy definitely fits the bill. I'll show you him now. He's a centre-back who can play as a ball-playing defender or a central defender, 17 years old, already with an under-21 cap. And he's already got very good stats. And if you look at my scout report of him, minimum 4.5 star potential, possible 5-star potential, already playing at Sky Bet Championship level at the age of 17. And he requested to leave once he found out about our interest in him. So we went for him. I wouldn't say it was a panic buy, but it's definitely a buy for the future. If we were to sell one of our centre-backs eventually, then he could maybe move up, but this is more in the idea of 3 or 4 years' time he's going to play for us. But he does look like a very good signing. If he even gets to 3-star out of this 4.5 star potential, we'll have made our money back on him and it would have been a worthwhile purchase. So might look like a lot of money right now, but in the end it will be completely worth it, and I'm sure about that. So he was our first signing. Now I'm going to show you all the others. We're going to start off with the player sales. So if you see here, we already sold Caballero. I talked about that in a previous video, but Angerin, we let him go on loan to Cardiff as he needed more game time. So he's currently playing at Cardiff and he's doing pretty good. You can see his development's doing well. He's played 6 matches for Cardiff, 1 goal, 1 assist, 6.7 rating. Not bad at all. Cardiff are doing okay. They're staying up. So it's good that he's playing a key role in their team now. He's like a first team player, as you can see. Playing central midfield instead of attacking midfield which isn't ideal, but they don't have an attacking midfield. They play 4-3-3, so I can't really complain there. He's doing fine. Just for this half of the season, then hopefully he'll come back and be able to take on a better loan, probably at a Sky Bet Championship side again next season, but a much better team, maybe one pushing for promotion, because I do think a couple of years' time he'll be playing for us, no doubt. So here was our first one. Our other sales, Baba Rahman, I recalled him off loan, sold him for 5 million, just wanted to get him out of the club. He's our who we got Emerson, Alonso, and Matson. I think he's our fourth choice left back. Chelsea signed him in 2015 for 14.5 million. I don't know what they're doing, but he was playing at Mallorca, however you pronounce it. Barely even getting games there. An awful match rating, so we just sold him to Pachuca, I think it's pronounced. And I think we're still paying a bit of his wages too, but I just wanted to get him out of the club. I had a look at who I could recall, and he was one of them, and I thought, let's just get him out and get some of the money back for him. Hudson-Odoi went out on loan. Now, it might seem like a strange decision, but it will become a bit obvious why I did this later. Really, I only want 4 wingers at the club. 1 for each side, and then 1 for each side as a backup too, so that makes 4. Now, Hudson-Odoi will definitely be one of these 4 incoming seasons, but this season he was doing okay, but his development was a bit stifled. So when Leipzig came in with a loan offer for him, plus some of the business that I'd already started doing, I thought for half of the season, it's a good move for him, as long as he's getting first team football there. Leipzig are a decent team as well, 4th in the Bundesliga, known for using young players. I think he's playing for them. Okay, he's a sub apparently. I think he's still getting his fitness back. Hopefully he'll play for them more going forward. Yeah, it was a strange one, but he'll get some game time there, but he was going to get no game time with us for the rest of the season. So you'll see why soon, like I keep saying. Batshuayi we loaned out. We had Tammy Abraham, Giroud, and Batshuayi as our strikers. Only Tammy Abraham is still at the club. The idea was I tried to sell Batshuayi, he wouldn't. No one was coming in for a decent offer. I had like a 10 million offer and paying half of his wages, which just wasn't good enough. I mean, you see he's valued at 30 million. So I sent him out to Newcastle, where he is doing pretty well now. 4 games, 2 goals. Hopefully, if he keeps this up next season, we'll be able to either look to bring him in as our third striker or sell him on for an actual good chunk of money. Marco van Ginkel, now, £1 million. He's worth a lot more than this. I mean, you can see he's worth 20 million. Now, the reason for this is his contract was running out. It had 6 months left, meaning that any team that want him can get him for free by agreeing a pre-contract deal with him. Now, Van Ginkel, I wanted to keep him around, to be fair. I offered him a contract. Well, I say offered. I negotiated a deal with him. Now, this guy who's played, I might be wrong, but I'm not sure he's ever actually played for Chelsea. He's had 2 appearances for Chelsea in 2013. Since then, nothing. He wanted £100,000 a week. Now, I don't know about you, but some of our best players here aren't even on £100,000 a week. And he's also settled for 40 grand a week at Sevilla. So, pretty strange from him there. Maybe he just wanted to get out of the club. I don't know. So Sevilla agreed to pre-contract deal, meaning he was going for free anyway. But the thing with this is, you have to pay his wages until he leaves. Now, if he was going to move to Sevilla, and with Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming back, he was not in my plans at all going ahead. And he was going to go for free at the end of the season. So I had a look, and there's a new feature on the game now where you can actually say to Sevilla, how about you have him now, you get an extra 6 months, and you have to pay a fee. Now, the only fee they were willing to pay was £1 million. I thought it's better than nothing. We don't have to pay his wages anymore. Just get him gone. Now, the board were concerned about this, but I don't think the game recognises, you can see here, concerned about the finances involved in the deal. I don't think the game actually recognises what I was trying to do. But it was purely, I was going to lose him for free. There was no point paying his wages anymore. It was the best option. So yeah, Marco van Ginkel is gone. Now, before I go into the big ones, Danilo Pantic went to LA Galaxy for 2 million. He was in our under-23 squad, not even getting a game. When the offer came in, I sold him. I don't know what Chelsea were doing, because apparently They only brought him like last year for 900 grand. Didn't do anything, sold him for 2 million. Made a profit, I suppose. A bit of a strange one, but just thought I'd get him out of the club if he's not playing. Now, Willian and Hudson-Odoi, both wingers, both leaving. Well, Hudson-Odoi's on loan, Willian's gone. So both left the club. So I will talk about the wingers I brought in a second. Willian went for 15 million. Now, you can see he's worth 30 million. Again, looks like bad business. But once more, he was one of them players with 6 months left of his deal. Chelsea do not allow me to make more than 1 year deals for players over the age of 30. And Willian was just not having this at all. Wasn't wanting to accept a contract. He also wanted a lot more money than he was already on. Now, he was good for us this season, I'm not going to lie, but he wasn't amazing. Look, 6.81, 4 goals, 2 assists in 21 games. It wasn't the best. He's gone to Man U and he has got a goal already in 2 games. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, it was losing for free or selling for 15 million. A tough one because when he did leave, he was like, oh, I've really enjoyed playing for you. I'd love to come back one day. But at the end of the day, £15 million instead of him going for free. It was a no-brainer, really, and Giroud was the same. 6 months left on his deal. He wanted more money than he was already on. He was on like 130 grand, so I don't know why he's accepted 65 grand at Leicester. But I think we got a good deal from here because he's worth 10.5 million. We sold him for 11.5, possibly 13 with add-ons. I wasn't disappointed with this deal. He was our sub-striker, and we replaced him, as you can see in a second, but yeah, it was a tough one for Giroud to go, but when an offer like that came in, we were going to lose him for free as well. It was just worth taking the money for him. Now, the exciting bit, the players we brought in, Kovacic and Fia Bemen were already here. This wasn't my business. But with Willian going, Hudson-Odoi not good enough right now on loan, and Pedro, his contract's expiring at the end of the season. He's the only first-team player with 6 months left on his deal who decided to stick around. He's not got no pre-contract agreed. He's going to be a free agent in the summer. Maybe we'll give him a deal, but I don't think we will for the amount he wants and for the role he's going to play going forward with the players we've got. He's been brilliant for us this season, Pedro. He's our second top goal scorer with Tammy Abraham, which is crazy to think about. But knowing that he's going, knowing that Willian's gone and Hudson-Odoi isn't ready yet, we spent big. We spent £93 million, broke the British transfer record, more than Paul Pogba, for this man, Jadon Sancho. We paid a bit more than he's valued at, but he is also 19, so he's going to get better. And he's done okay for us so far, nothing spectacular, but he's here now. I'm happy to have him. He is a wonder kid, and, well, we all know Jadon Sancho. He's our first choice left-sided winger now going forward. Some brilliant stats, I mean, dribbling, first touch, technique, vision, flair, off the ball, composure, agility, acceleration are already all world class, and he's got some other great stats too. He will be like the poster boy going forward for us. That isn't a doubt about it. And he's English. He brings through more players in that English core that we've been building with Reece James, Tomori, Abraham, Mason Mount, Ross Barkley, now Sancho. We're really building a strong squad here. He's like going to be a star man, like I've already said. Our big money signing, we had all that money left over. He did. They wanted 140 million for him when I first started. And then the next day, Sancho signed a new contract, and I thought, well, guess we're not going to get him anymore. But I think Sancho wanted to move because we checked his contract and he'd put in a £93 million release clause in, so we activated that straight away. He's here now. He's with us. Yeah, he's going to play a vital part in our squad. Very happy to get him on board. Another player that we signed, another world-class player, I'd say, Timo Werner. He comes in, as you know, we sold Batshuayi and Giroud, meaning we were only left with Abraham up front. Now, I could have got just a backup for Abraham, but I wanted someone that was maybe even better than him, so that we could actually have some competition, because Abraham had gone a bit stale. I think he's got like 8 goals or something like that, and 8 goals in a season. For a first-choice striker, we are one of the better clubs in the league right now, wasn't good enough. So we brought in Timo Werner, and he's been very good for us since joining. 4 games, 2 goals, which actually isn't right, because that's only the Premier League. Here it is, down here. He's played 4 games, 2 as a sub, and scored 4 goals, 2 in the league, 2 in the cup. He's missed a penalty as well. That's why his average rating was down, because he had like a 5.8 game, which was it was his only off day. But yeah, I think he's going to be above Tammy Abraham for me going forward. Any game he drops off, Abraham's going to come in. It's going to be a good bit of competition, and we'll get them both firing, I'm hoping. And he's also a pressing forward naturally, which suits our system very well. He's even got a goal already by taking the ball off a goalkeeper from pressing him. He's here till 2024, 130 grand a week. It's not bad, really. That's more than Giroud and Batshuayi's wages combined. Less than Giroud and Batshuayi's wages combined, should I say. But Giroud himself was on 100 and something a week. So I think this is good business. He's 23 as well. He's going to be here for a few years to come. If we were to sell him on one day, I've already identified Eric Haaland from Borussia Dortmund. I've already had scouts looking at him because he's doing brilliantly, and he has a £65 million release clause. So if we were to sell Werner, it would be for a profit one day, and then we bring him in. So right now, Werner, Sancho, 2 German league players, 2 players who are going to be key for us going forward, slot straight into the first team. And then in terms of someone who's if you think of Sancho as replacing Willian, then we needed someone to replace Pedro at the end of the season, and with Hudson-Odoi out on loan, we only had 3 wingers. So David Neres came in, 22 years old. Just think of him as a younger Willian, I suppose. He's going to be a good player going forward. He's a squad player. He's on 75 grand a week, less than Pedro and Willian. He's going to be very useful because he's versatile on either side. I'm thinking of using him as the backup to Pulisic, who's playing brilliantly on the right side here mainly. So if you think about him as the backup player, 30 million, not bad. Already playing for Brazil. Potential ability of 4 stars, I think he'll reach that. Maybe we'll sell him on for a profit one day. But yeah, I'm happy with him. Seems like it was a deadline day deal. It was kind of a panic buy, kind of not. It was between him and, let me see if I can find him, Tsizganikov, I don't know how you pronounce it. It would have been for about the same price. They both wanted just under 40 million. You can see Barca are interested in him. Maybe he'll join us one day, but right now, it was purely just because I knew David Neres could play on either side, whereas I'm not going to even pronounce his name. Let's call him Victor. Victor was more of just a right-sided player. Neres offered us a bit more in terms of versatility, same age. He was a bit cheaper as well because they wanted 40 million for Zhenikov, so we'll take it. So that is our transfer business for the January transfer window. 3 players, 4 if you count the guy that's going to be joining soon, Stergiu. I don't know if you know how to pronounce it. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, 3 big signings, and I'd say 3 big sales with Van Ginkel included. We're looking good. I'm hoping the board are happy. If we look at the vision, they're pleased we've signed players under the age of 22. We've signed high reputation players too. They're pleased with that. Self-sustainability, I think, will be okay because in terms of finances, we've only made a loss of 14 million and we're not going to spend any more going forward, so it's hopefully just going to be profit. Sign young players to develop for a profit required. That's one that might take a few years for it to work. It's part of the 5-year plan. But players like David Neres, possibly that centre-back that we brought, that's all with that in mind, that maybe one day they won't be playing here. Another interesting thing, before we finish up the video, Jorginho signed a new deal. Where is he? He is here. He's here till 2024 now, 185 grand a week. I didn't want to do it, but he was basically threatening to leave. Zuma will also be getting a new deal soon because he kind of deserves it. I think he's on like 40 grand a week, yeah. And he wants a new contract. I'm happy to do that. PSG seems to be interested in every player that we've got right now, as you can see. Ian Matson, a left back from the development centre, who's going to be my backup left back instead of Marcos Alonso next season, I believe. He signed a new deal, so happy with that too. Ross Barkley's interested by Man U. He's been playing brilliantly recently too. So I'm very happy with the squad we've got. In terms of where we are in the league, we are now 1 win ahead of Man City with 12 games to play. So I don't want to say it, but I think we could possibly win the league. We're definitely in contention. There's a big gap between us and 4th, so I think we've secured Champions League as long as we don't really mess it up. But yeah, I'll see you in the games against Juventus. That's a January transfer business. Very excited for some of these players to play for us going forward. As you can see, here's the new look squad. This is my main 11 now. Werner up front, Sancho on the wing as an inverted winger, Mount as the advanced playmaker with Pulisic on the right, Kante and Jorginho as the only older players in the squad really, as well as Azpilicueta, but everyone else is very young now. Emerson, Zuma, Tomori, James, Kepa. It's a good squad. Not a squad I'd expect to win the league, but we're outperforming ourselves right now. And the good thing about this squad is they've all got the potential to get better too. For the future, going forward, to meet all of our 5-year plans for the board, keep our job, and hopefully bring some silverware to Chelsea soon. So, thank you for watching. That's a January transfer business. Hopefully you come back to see us in the Juventus video to see how some of these players get on. It's going to be a tough one against Juventus, but if we can get through, we'll be in the quarter-final, which is what the board wanted from the Champions League this season. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Feel free to like and comment. Comment if there's some transfers you think we should have done, some you think we shouldn't have done, if you're looking forward to seeing someone play. Subscribe if you want more content. Still trying to upload daily. We're doing our best. I'm having fun. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.